Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the move, all right?
I'll take it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Inside the Midnight Mind. I'm the Midnight Mind. So, good news, I finally got my mic working. The last video that I recorded was on my phone because I couldn't get the mic to work. So, I've got that fixed now. Hopefully, the audio will be better, and I'm super excited for this. So, today, or tonight I should say, we'll be talking about what got me into video games and anime culture, mainly video games. I, from a young age, have been exposed to some of the most classic video games and RPGs specifically, I think, that have ever been made. And I'd like to talk about a little bit of this game that made me think of this video. So I play Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia on the mobile, and if you haven't played it, I really think you should try it, especially if you're an RPG fan. It's the best free game I've ever played on mobile. It has a ton of people and characters from Final Fantasy series, and they're about to have their first crossover event with Dragon Quest. So I'm super excited for that. I'm looking forward to all the cool events that are coming up for that, and I think that it's just going to be a good time. Download Opera Omnia on the Google Play Store or the Apple iTunes Store today. Also, I want to give a shout out to another YouTube channel called Star Lores with Rilo Ken. If you guys are fans of Star Wars, whether it's deep lore or just you like the movie. So if you like Star Wars, his channel is everything Star Wars. So go over there, check it out, and let him know what you think of it. So, I grew up playing Final Fantasies, and because my grandmother was such a huge Final Fantasy fan, she played a lot of RPGs, but Final Fantasy was her favorite. And so when I would stay the night at her house, we would stay up all night and play Final Fantasy VIII. That was the first Final Fantasy that I had ever seen, and what a wonderful game that was. It had just came out. It was 1999, and I'm sitting in my grandma's living room watching her play this. And I remember it was toward the end of the first disc, right where Squall is about to try to assassinate Sorceress Adia. Now, just the composition, Nobuo Uematsu's music that he composes is bar none my favorite. He is such a good composer. It was written by Kazushika Nojima. The story behind it, and it doesn't get as much credits as it should. I don't know why so many people hate Final Fantasy VIII or just don't like it compared to the other ones. Maybe it has something to do with its more believable, more of a serious Final Fantasy than, say, Final Fantasy IX. Or whatever, but it's my favorite Final Fantasy, and maybe it has something to do with nostalgia, but I hope that you guys will tell me down below if you guys are Final Fantasy VIII fans, because I love talking to other people who like Final Fantasy VIII, because it's kind of hard to find nowadays. It's kind of sad, really, but so yeah, we would stay up all night and play Final Fantasy VIII, and I remember just the awesome battles that she would have. And I mean, who wouldn't want to have a gunblade? I think every kid who has ever played Final Fantasy VIII has wanted a gunblade. It's like the coolest fantasy weapon you could ever think of. So, you go through these battles fighting other soldiers or monsters, and using your awesome gunblade weapon, magic, GFs or Guardian Forces, summons as they're called in some other Final Fantasies, or even Eidolons in some of the other games in the series. But if you haven't played it, I really suggest that you play the remaster And in fact, in December coming up, they are going to release the original Final Fantasy VII and the Final Fantasy VIII Remastered in a twin pack. So that would be a really cool way to start into Final Fantasy VIII and even Final Fantasy VII if you've never played Final Fantasy VII. That remake has just came out and it's excellent. I love it. It's changed a lot from the original. They've added a lot in, but I think they still did a fantastic job with portraying the characters' emotions and really adding to the original what they couldn't do in the original due to their limitations. So it gaming has such a profound way of changing people. I think I can say that games have changed me so much, and for the better. I think. I mean, Final Fantasy IX, for example. Right from the start, if you let the credits roll in the beginning of Final Fantasy IX, it goes through each character, and each character has a little quote or a little saying in front of them. And the very first one you're going to see is the main character, Zidane. And his quote is, "You don't need a reason to help somebody." And I think I've tried to incorporate that into my life ever since I was a kid. I've tried to have that way of thinking, no matter what it came to. And you know, when you live life that way, I think that good things will come to you naturally. Now, I don't know if you want to say that's karma, but either way, games have changed me for the better, I believe. And I think it can change everybody if you're given the right game. If you have something that you can connect to on an emotional level, and you see how it changes you, and you like it, then all the more better. I think that a lot of people think of games like, oh, it's just something that you pick up and you play around with and you shoot, kill people, whatever. And maybe there are a lot of games like that today, but and maybe that's why I'm more an RPG fan than anything. I like storyline. I like getting to know characters and their backgrounds and how they're feeling at certain times and how they handle situations. So, but yeah, so other RPGs that I like, I know I've talked a lot about Final Fantasy, but I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, so it's kind of easy for me to run off on Final Fantasy for a long time. But so other RPGs and games I like, mainly RPGs. Chrono Trigger, again, my grandmother watched her play that for a long time, and man, what a wonderful game that was. And its sequel, well, kind of, Chrono Cross. It wasn't a direct sequel, it was its own standalone game, but man, it was really good, and I played that by myself. So that was when I was getting to the age where, I started collecting my own games, and so it was a fantastic game. Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2, I think I don't even need to say anything about those. And Legend of Dragoon, I mean, those games like that have their own legends, so there's nothing I need to talk about those. So, Vagrant Stories, Breath of Fire, Threads of Fate, all excellent RPGs. Now, and I do like other genres of gaming. I do like first-person shooters. The first-person shooter I ever played was Doom, which essentially is the game who really defined what modern-day first-person shooters are. So I can say that I played the original first-person shooter, which is crazy to me. It makes me feel so old. So, but yeah, just it's always been an interest of mine, and I think that my whole family really has gone down that same path. We're all gamers. So, I think I have to thank my grandmother for that, because she's opened an entire world of fantasy for me. My grandmother passed away a few years ago, and you know, I was able to send with her a something that meant a lot to me. It was a Grievier necklace, which is the same necklace that Squall Leonhardt wears in Final Fantasy VIII, and that was kind of our thing. Final Fantasy VIII was really what we bonded over the most, and that to me was, that necklace was a way of giving something of myself to her when she passed. And so yeah, it's very deep for me, and I hope that you guys will tell me your own stories of how your gaming originated, or what got you into gaming. I have a video coming out Friday that will most likely have some footage of gaming. I don't have a webcam yet, or any way to stream just yet, but I do have plans to stream. So stay tuned. You know, watch out for my videos. Hit the like button if you like this video. Definitely hit the bell to stay updated on all my new videos. I am going to try to put out a video 3 times a week, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then after I get more fluid at this whole process, because I'm very new to this, I'm going to try to play, have a Let's Play Saturdays, once I get really, really good at this, so, and have all the other equipment I need. So I'll be playing anything from Call of Duty to Among Us, Opera Omnia. I'll be playing Opera Omnia probably, and I'll probably be putting some Opera Omnia videos in, just to help people out who are either just starting. Now, I'm not a professional at it by any means. There are some very good YouTubers out there that I follow, that you should follow, and I'll link them down below. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, like the video, hit the bell to stay updated, subscribe, and just comment down below what are some of the games that have inspired you or changed you, and what are your favorite RPGs. I'd love to hear about that, because I love talking anything RPGs. So until then, thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you guys on the next video.